What choices that you see people making with their lives that you would never make? Having a child early in life with an uncommitted partner. Repeatedly. I watched an EW episode this afternoon, where this single Detroit mother had 7 children in various stages of malnourishment. Police were called for a welfare check because her youngest was missing for 3 months. She at first claimed she gave the child away but was found a little while later at the home. The home was a complete nightmare. Some kids were so malnourished they couldn't even open doors. The house stank of urine and feces. It was abhorrent. Taking their paycheck to the gas station and spending hours there trying to win big on scratch-offs. LMAO, I spent over $4,000 last year on scratchers. I can afford it though, but still hurts. Settling for a partner I'm not all that in love with, just out of fear I can't do any better. Sunk cost fallacy, rush to have kids, pressure from family and friends, etc. Like 90% of the people I know have done that. It's wild how common it is, considering I find marriage so much more terrifying than being alone. I prefer it, and always encourage loved ones to try to spend extended time single after a breakup. You get to know yourself in a deeper way, I think. Being able to be single is an underrated sign of confidence and having your stuff together. I hate tropes and simplistic advice, but I do believe that anyone who can't be alone shouldn't be in a relationship. Totally different from grieving after you lose someone. Using meth. Or any hard drug. I imagine heroin is amazing. I see smackheads in filthy rags, emaciated, driven to the streets. And something has to be amazing if that's the end point, and you still start the journey. So, knowing it must be amazing, but also knowing how hard I find it to find up other habits, chocolate cigs, it's clear I'm a prime candidate for deep addiction, so can never let myself know just how lovely it must be. Posting every aspect of their lives on social media. And then getting upset when they hear an opinion they don't like. Littering. Throwing paper towels on the ground in the bathroom. Not putting the cart away at the grocery store. Parking in a way that prevents other people from parking because you didn't pay attention to the spots. People might think those are all trivial or borderline unnecessary things to pay attention to. But I think they're quite important, and that a society that ceases to care about the little things will create much bigger problems in the long run. All the things listed show a lack of civic duty, the belief that your community is worth contributing to and keeping safe clean. Littering and leaving things for others to deal with shows a self-centeredness and lack of care about people around you. You might never have negative repercussions for acting that way. You're supposed to avoid them out of a sense of wanting everyone to have a slightly better life, and it takes so little effort. Having a baby without any financial plan and hope that the universe will provide for the child. Unbearably convenient to go, God provides, when things work out, and this is a test or because X is bad, when they don't. There's always an answer, and none of it includes self-accountability. Dating by numbers instead of based on actual feelings for somebody. Relationships are a lot of work to be killing time on. What do you mean dating by numbers? Trying to date a lot of people instead of people you actually care for. This is one that always bewildered me. Like, how can you expect to find a good partner when you're dividing your energy among multiple options? If you can't show one person your 100%, then how can you expect them to give you theirs? Going without sunscreen. I do that unintentionally because I struggle to create new habits, but most of the time I'm indoors. Sadly, a dermatologist told me that skin-damaging sun comes right through our windows. I'm a fair-skinned redhead with an autoimmune disease. The meds I take cause extreme sun sensitivity. Sunscreen's a must for me. That said, we should all do the best for ourselves. Screwing someone over in a business deal. How the literal fuck was that shit ever normalized? Honestly, it's probably happened since the Stone Age. Dropping out of high school and skipping out on a GED. Getting my GED was one of the best decisions I made. I always recommend doing that if you choose to drop out. No employer has ever questioned me about it. I dunno, every single choice I said I'd never make. I ended up making despite my best intentions and got punched in the face by karma. So my answer is I will never choose to actively judge people for situations I think I'm too smart good to get myself into, because life has a way of humbling you. Getting children because their relationship lives feels empty. because getting a child will somehow fix that. Letting kids stay glued to a screen, not encouraging my children to play outside or participate in sports, dance, etc. I'd gained the impression that street crime is just an extra job with the added risk of getting shot or going to prison. Getting tattoos on their faces. Why is that popular right now? Not exercising. One of the joys of being alive is seeing what your body-mind can do. I wish exercise contained any joy. Being a legit crash out. Like someone who genuinely cannot control themselves and their emotions and lets it fuck up their lives in many ways. I know several people going through this right now, and it's painful to watch, but there's nothing you can say or do to help people who don't want to help themselves realize that it's a terrible way to go through life. None. The moment you start judging is the moment that same storm starts brewing for you. I'd like to think I wouldn't make certain choices, but really I have no idea what I would do if I was in certain situations. 'Cause some situations are impossible. Spending thousands to always have the newest phone. Shopping as a hobby. Purchasing luxury, brand clothing like Balenciaga or Essentials Fog or whatever. Being in a cult. Cults don't usually advertise, "Hey, we're a cult." They just seem like a cool new group of friends until you're in too deep. Some people are born into cults and can't escape. Not pursuing individuality. Smoking and drinking alcohol. I don't want to start so I don't get addicted. Don't start. That's the best way to avoid addiction. My sibling knew that we were genetically disposed to addiction and thought it could never happen to them. They're facing prison time now for a drunken hit and run. Just don't start, and there's nothing to worry about. You aren't missing anything. Being a billionaire and not making the world a better place. You probably don't become a billionaire if you have any altruistic traits. Getting married because you think you have to. Maybe you're pregnant, maybe the aunties are starting to talk, maybe you're 35 and it's just time. Don't. Just don't do it. Marriage is hard. Worth it, but hard. Unless you truly can't imagine living your life with that person, don't do it. I'm in my 50s, been happy 98% of the time. But I'm looking at friends who've been married this long, don't really like each other, never really did. Just graduated college, married that guy, bought a house in the suburbs, had 3 kids, a dog and an affair, and they are miserable. I'm lucky. I still adore my husband and he feels the same. But the kids are grown, the dog has passed on, and there's 2 strangers stuck in a life they hate. They are constantly obsessing over everyone else. They worry too much about what everyone else has and does. Never really concerned with what they are doing, therefore they never actually do anything. Rushing. Gotta graduate. Gotta get a job. Gotta get married. Gotta have kids. Not at all in that order, but it's always rushed. Everyone's worried about what someone else thinks and they want to be accepted into a group. I'm perfectly okay watching from the outside. Quitting a job without another lined up, not in this economy. My niece just bought a house a few months ago and also just rage quit her job a few weeks ago. Hopefully she can get a couple of rooms rented out that will help with the bills and mortgage. Being one of those women that makes wine their entire personality. No thanks. Spending $1,000 plus on a meal. My sister, very successful lawyer, enjoyed this kind of fancy restaurant. When she passed the bar, my father took her to eat in the Eiffel Tower. It was hella expensive, and when I'm dragged in this kind of place, I hate it. Why is there 4 knives and 5 forks? What are these elvish plates with eldritch sauce? Why is my steak smaller than a Happy Meal? No wine for me, I don't drink. I'll just have a soda. How much? Water for me. And since I don't like all these weird plate from outer space, I have to watch that poor waiter jumping through circle of fire to try to propose something I'd like. Poor guy. I spent 2 hours bored and went to a fast food last time. For my 30th birthday, I took my family to a steakhouse. The very concept of overpaying food to this point is alien to me. I get that it's supposed to be good, but I'm still hungry. At this price I could fly to another country. There has to be a better way to spend this amount of money. It's not about the food, it's a status symbol. People don't go to these places for an actual good meal, they go to flex their wealth. People prioritizing career over family and community because of this unrealistic. But what if I make it big? Mindset dream that as a working class person, which most of us are, is basically unachievable. In my previous job, there were plenty of people who worked their ass off to the point of stress-related issues, did unpaid overtime every day and/or worked weekends, all in the name of getting noticed, and one day earning a raise or a promotion. As far as I know, none of them actually got it. They just eventually burned out. Hookup culture. Period. I'm not the person who believes in purity culture or sex after marriage, but I also cannot stand the thought of sleeping with random people I met a few hours or days ago. Not to mention that it puts me at a higher risk of STDs and unwanted pregnancies. Going full-on vegan. That's not to say it's a bad choice. I would just never do it. I love my cheese. Crying videos on social media. Just why? Lip filler plastic surgery. I hear and see so many horror stories, it's simply not worth it. I include LASIK in this. My vision is absolute ass and I used to wonder if it was worth it, but now all this shit's coming out about people who ended up with chronic pain like sand or needles in their eyes from it. Blurry vision. Yeah, not worth it. I'll just keep paying for contacts and glasses. I will never ever get surgery unless it's medically necessary. Letting their cats be outdoor cats, or even indoor-outdoor, is something I would never allow my cats to be. Cats hunt for fun and harm wild populations, but also, humans aren't very kind to cats and I've seen way too many intentionally hurt. My cats will forever be indoors where they are safe. What life choices do others make that you never would? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.